Good evening everybody and welcome to the virtual Watkins Glen here for the Prime Meridian Racing League. It is the final race of the season, round 10 of 10 rounds here in this season, season 2 for the PMRL. I'm Julian Altena and I'm your host for tonight's broadcast, which is a bit of a surprise for myself as well, but hello everybody. It's good to be here. Of course, as you guys know, if you followed the PMRL, Trevor Greenfield used to broadcast these races, but due to a scheduling issue with the rescan of Watkins Glen on iRacing, he wasn't able to do so this week. So I'm here for you guys to cover this race, and what a race we have on our hands here tonight. It is a championship decider between two drivers, which we will talk about in just a second. But looking at the track first here, you can see the boot layout of Watkins Glen, which is 5.4 kilometers in length. The track temperature at the moment is 38 degrees. The air temperature is 24 degrees. And of course, this is located in Watkins Glen, New York, in the USA. So, final race of the season. It's going to be a very exciting one for sure with the new rescan of Watkins Glen. A few unknowns. The fuel strategy should be a similar one compared to the old scan, but tire life is really an unknown for the guys here racing out on tracks. So we'll have to wait and see how that's going to play out. But let's bring up the driver standings here real quick. And I've got to actually get these on my phone here as well, because the screen is a little bit small. So Hugo Olsen leads it by 9 points over Will Line, which will be the two-way championship fight going into this round. Daniel Dinsdale in third position is too far back to even have a shot at the title. So it will be between Hugo Olsen and Will Line. And basically, if we have the form of these guys over the course of the season, it will be a winner-takes-all scenario, just like the F1 season last weekend. So Daniel Dinsdale in third position, Andreas Eich in fourth with 293 points, which is 3 points behind Daniel Dinsdale. And then Jasper Ormer rounds off that top 5, which are really the most crucial guys in the championship. So looking at the team's championship standings then as well, you can see SMS Racing already clinched that last week pretty much, or 2 weeks ago I should say, in the last race at Long Beach. Then Three Crowns Racing with IAR is in the second position, which is just over 100 points clear of Wyvern Racing, which complete the top 3. As we go to the track now to cover qualifying, let's bring up the beautiful overlays, as we have 15 minutes left in qualifying here tonight. Now, I want to quickly take a moment to thank Jessica Saban and also Vilda, of course, who ran the PMRL, for allowing me to broadcast this race tonight. It's a bit last minute. I had to change around some work shifts as well to make this work, but I'm happy to be here for you guys and cover this race. So once again, I want to thank them for giving me this opportunity to really step outside of my comfort zone in a way, because I used to broadcast my own races only on VUR, Velocity Racing. So this is a new thing for me, and of course, like I said, I'm really happy to be here for you guys. So yeah, just give me, well, for this broadcast alone, give me one broadcast to kind of get used to it, because it's a different audience I'm broadcasting to, which kind of makes me nervous a little bit. So yeah, here we are. So with that out of the way, I'm also happy to announce that I will be broadcasting next season. So hopefully all goes well here, so I can leave a nice, solid first impression to you guys on this broadcast. So yeah, currently Will Lyon and Hugo Olsen, the championship rivals, share the front row, which of course is not final yet because we still have 14 minutes left in qualifying. But there's 1.5 tenths separating the two drivers, which is actually getting quite exciting going into this race, because Watkins Glen is not really known for being too difficult to pass on, so you can really follow quite easily and actually overtake too. So of course the gaps will be quite close in qualifying, and that's only going to make the race more exciting, because the pace levels are going to be quite similar, and especially with the talent levels of Will Lyon and Hugo Olsen being so closely matched, I think we're going to see a great race tonight to decide that championship. Once again, it will be a pretty much winner-takes-all scenario. So of course Hugo Olsen does have that 9-point lead, sorry, which will be a bit of a buffer. And of course, Will Lyon in qualifying is going to try to get that pole position to make that difference 8 points. Let's see if we can grab somebody else to go with. Maybe Will Lyon's on track. Yes, he is. There he is. For SMS Racing. Now, I'm not too familiar with all the teams and the team names and the drivers, so I'm going to try to get used to that for this race. So yeah, I know that Will Lyon drives for SMS Racing because he has that iconic SMS Slightly Mad Studios livery on the car, which I did get used to in a way when I broadcasted with Trevor a few races. We did half the season, I think, or even less than that. Before I had to leave the booth for unfortunate reasons, but yeah, of course, back here on my own this time. Should have a nice 17 car field for this race tonight, which is always great to see. Actually made it 15 because there's 2 admins in the session too, but still. Pretty solid numbers, I have to say. Which will only make the race more exciting. Now for qualifying, you can already see that Will Lyon has just dropped to 2nd place behind Andreas Eyck. He has gone to a 125.14. I'm expecting the pole position to be a 124.9. So these guys aren't too far off that yet. As we have 11 minutes and 15 seconds remaining, Will Lyon goes to the top. Beats Andreas Eyck by a 10th of a second to P1 again. And we are getting near those 124s. As we're just a half a tenth away from those. And currently got 6 viewers in chat as well. Hello everybody. Please let me know if all the audio levels are correct, if you can hear me properly and the mic isn't too loud or too quiet or whatever. Please let me know of any issues and I will try to get those sorted as soon as possible. Again, this is a new place for me. It's a different channel, so some of the settings might not always translate to this channel, for example, compared to what I'm used to. Should be okay though, but just in case. Also, I want to mention something. The slideshow shown earlier in the broadcast contains all pictures from Vilda, from the PMRL. She's one of the admins of the league, alongside Jessica Saban, and she actually does iRacing paints as well as some good photography, which you saw in that slideshow. So all credit goes to her for those pictures. But if you're interested in iRacing paints, go to the link in the description to her Instagram. You can contact her over there. And if you're looking for a livery, you can get one made by her. And of course, there's also the Majors Garage referral link in the description, which you can use on Majors Garage setup purchases, which will help the PMRL to, of course, grow and also get some more money for the league to run on its own. Of course, getting some money through sponsors always helps running a league. I can speak from personal experience. Thank you, Kedrock. Is that how you pronounce your name? I hope I did it right. Thanks for telling me. Good to know everything's alright. So let's bring up the weather again for tonight's race. You can see just approaching 3 PM in the sim time. The air temperature has gone down to 23 degrees. It was 24 earlier. The track temperature is still 38 degrees. Which I would assume goes down towards the end of the day, which will only make the red tires last longer. So what I'm assuming is that most of the drivers will be attempting to qualify and start the race on the blacks, because then the track's going to be the hottest, and then towards the end they will move towards the reds, because they do have to use both compounds on the road courses and street courses, which they even ran this season. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know that as well. Kedrock then. I'll try to do that. Ooh, Daniel Dinsdale to the first 1 minute 24 of the evening. Takes provisional pole away from Will Lyon, which are teammates, by the way, for SMS Racing. Again, they already clinched the team's championship last race at Long Beach. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have your teammates up there to help you out in the championship fight. We've seen a perfect example of that in real life in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Yes, Checo Perez did an amazing job holding Hamilton up in that race. So I don't want to start any conspiracy theories yet, but it could be something that could happen, you never know. It's always something to keep in mind, that's for sure. I've been watching Hugo Olsen during practice tonight, and I'm not sure if he's been driving the W12 a lot, but it definitely took him some time to get up to speed again. Hugo is one of the better known drivers in the community, so he's always near the front or at the front for sure, just like in the championship here in the PMRL, but I was surprised to see him taking that long to get up to speed, but thankfully he did get there in the end, because he does need to be there to fight for that championship, as Will Lyon goes to the top once again. And there you go, we're clearly into the 124s now, 124.83 for Will Lyon. As we continue to go on board with Hugo Olsen, going through the bus stop chicane, or the inner loop I should say. The bus stop is at Spa. Going into the boot section of the track. For NASCAR they go to the right, straight on. But this section is specifically made for IndyCar and sports cars. I guess going up to the heel of the boot now. You can actually brake a lot later than you think into this corner, which I found out in the W12 as well, by the way, which is a great car to run. Now this corner is off camber, which will be difficult when the tires start falling off, especially when you're pushing the limits in qualifying as well, because you want to nail that exit into this flat out turn. And the final corner here at Watkins Glen is very tricky to nail, but once you do, it gains you quite a bit of lap time, as Hugo Olsen comes across the line to go to P2. Just beats Daniel Dinsdale his time. So the two championship rivals onto the front row with about 5 minutes to go. Let's go to Will Lyon as he finishes up another lap. Is he able to improve or not? Nope, wasn't able to improve. Let me try to get up a lap chart to see the progress during qualifying, if I can find them. Sectors. So Hugo also not on a flying lap, or actually he's still working on one, that's why it's not giving us a time yet. So 23.2 for Will Lyon on this lap. And it turns out I was right, Hugo also not on a lap, so let's continue to go on board with Will Lyon here then, as he makes his way around the boot section now as well. 13.7 wasn't too slow in sector 2, as he sets it 20 flat into sector 3. And actually he's just on a slowdown lap. So here you can see where Hugo Olsen is missing out. It's just under 400s in sector 1, just under half a tenth in sector 2, just over half a tenth in sector 3, and then it's pretty much level in sector 4. And in sector 5 Hugo Olsen gains some time back. Now this graphic is very confusing even for me, so I'm going to get rid of it again. Currently got 8 viewers. Welcome everybody. So coming up to 2.5 minutes left in qualifying. These drivers have had about 20 minutes once the session ends to set their best lap times possible. And so far, all the drivers with lap times, which are 14 cars, are separated by less than 3.1 seconds. And the top 13, top 12 are within 2 seconds. With Adam Height and Brandon Dollar still lacking a little bit of pace. Of course, not everybody has had the same amount of time to practice during the week. There was a practice session earlier this week to practice on the rescanned Watkins Glen. But of course, with real life commitments, not everybody is able to make those, so some of the drivers might be getting up to speed just now during qualifying. So I think the true first signs of every driver's pace will be during the race, which of course is about to start in about, well, 3 minutes if you count the pace lap as well, which will take a little while, I would assume. So that's Will Lyons' qualifying attempt over. There is not enough time left for him to do another lap, so it's going to be up to Hugo Olsen now to try to beat him to the pole, as Hugo is on a warm-up lap, as Daniel uses a lot of the track. Now, I haven't really raced or broadcasted on the new Watkins Glen before, so I'm not sure about the track limits, other than it's the curve in turn 1. So that's pretty much all I know. I'm not sure if what Daniel Dinsdale just did there was legal or not, but we'll find out just now. And it was legal. He goes to the provisional pole with a 124.81 as he tries to get out of the way of cars behind. See, it's the wall there too. Trying to figure out who was on that lap there. But let's go on with Sam Blackwood here. In the last race that I broadcasted for this league at Spa, I'm pretty sure he got a podium. And in a way, Watkins Glen is the American Spa with the elevation changes and high-speed corners. That's about where the similarities end though. So qualifying has completed. All the drivers that just started the lap before the clock ran out are allowed to finish their hot lap attempts. Of course, Dinsdale and Lyon already finished up their runs, as Hugo Olsen is on his final push to try and snatch that pole away from the SMS Racing team, the front row I should say. Now, as long as Will doesn't get the pole, which it doesn't look like he will, because he already finished up his runs. Oh, Hugo also makes a mistake. That's going to be his lap gone. So this now makes it a little bit easier on Hugo to clinch that title. Of course, he doesn't have to worry about that point for the pole position anymore for Will Lyon, because Daniel Dinsdale is going to get that one. So everybody has wrapped up their qualifying runs, so let's just wait for iRacing to process all the session results and we can get the starting grid up on the screen. I think it's going to take a little while though, so let's quickly talk about Watkins Glen one more time. You can see the boot layout here. It's going to be a great race. Turn 1 is going to be something to watch during the start, because it does get tighter towards the apex and going on the exit of turn 1. So a field of, what is it, 15 cars steaming down into turn 1 is going to be quite chaotic. Now, the inner loop is going to be something as well during the race. That will be the primary overtaking opportunity here on this track. Of course, also turn 1, but you're going to use push to pass up the hill into the inner loop. And then from there into the heel, into the boot section of the track, it's going to be largely single file. So qualifying results are in. And there we go. So for the SMS Racing team, we have Daniel Dinsdale on the pole position with his teammate and championship second place in P2 on the starting grid. Hugo Olsen, the championship leader for Powerslide Motorsports in P3. Andreas Eich for Team Talent in P4. Then row 3 is Maxence, Godinho, and Anna Jorfi. Connor Pearson and Sam Blackwood for Wyvern Racing on row 4. Row 5 is David Saranzo and Matthew Levine. Danny Brennan and Axel Gumel on row 6. Row 7, Adam Hyde and Brandon Dollar. And Brandon Dollar actually got involved in the Christmas Cup for VOR, so it's good to see him racing here too. I think he actually got into that via PMRL, so that's good. And then we've got the admins in the session, of course, Vilda, Jessica, and Elle Stewart. I think that's Jessica as well. And Manuel Gomez, who will also take the green flag from P18. And he is one of the drivers that I'm not really used to seeing on the road courses. I did talk about him with Trevor on a few past broadcasts, and he's been making some steady progress and improving on those road courses, so it will be good to see what he can do. So I'm not sure what's really going on here. This is the warm-up session. Okay, perfect. I got a bit confused for a second. So that gives us one more opportunity to talk about the Drivers' Championship in just a second, as I gotta pull up those graphics again on my phone. So for the Drivers' Championship standings then, we've already talked about this for a little while. Hugo Olsen leads it by 9 points over Will Lyon. Daniel Dinsdale in the third position with 296. Too far back to have a shot at the title, so it's going to be between Hugo Olsen and Will Lyon. Andreas Eich is 3 points behind Daniel Dinsdale though, so that battle is still very much on for P3 in the championship standings. Jasper Orman rounds off that top 5 with 269 points, which is 30 clear of Matthew Levine in P6. Then we've got Sam Blackwood, David Saranzo and Erke Lindström in the top 9, with Anna Jorfi rounding off that top 10. Then we're going to look at the Teams Championship standings, which was already won by SMS Racing at the last race at Long Beach. 3 Crowns Racing with IAR sits in the second position. They have also pretty much secured P2. Now, Wyvern Racing and Powerslide Motorsports are still very close for their third position in the championship standings, with Team Talent in P5. Then we've got NSH Racing in P6, 3 Crowns Racing with IAR 2, which is the second / Toro Rosso team, I guess you could say it. Of 3 Crowns Racing in P7, DriveDoctors.co.uk in P8 with 89 Motorsports and NVW Esport rounding off the top 10. So if you remember what I just said during qualifying, some drivers not maybe having enough time to really practice, well, they've got the warm-up now, so they can at least get up to speed a little bit. As my overlay is messing up a little bit, let's try to restart that. Hello Robert, good to see you, my friend. As Hugo Olsen is currently the only driver in warm-up with a time on the board. So this will give us a little bit of a chance to talk about strategy as well. So it's going to be a 54 lap race. If you completely commit to a 3-stop strategy, which is no fuel save at all, you can do about 16 laps. I believe you do have to make a 17 lap stint work somewhere with some fuel saving. So never mind what I just said about going flat out. So that's a strategy that you could do. And if you go full fuel save, you could make it on 2 stops. Which is going to be very difficult to do, to say the least. I tried to do it before myself and it didn't really work out, so. As for the tires, it wouldn't surprise me to see the majority of the field start on the reds and then go towards the reds, the blacks, sorry, to start the race on and then go to the reds towards the end, because then the track's going to be the coolest. And of course the red tires work the best in cooler conditions. As we're about to wrap up warm-up. Alright, let's go over the qualifying results one more time before we take the green flag here at Watkins Glen. So Daniel Dinsdale will line on the front row for the SMS Racing team. Hugo Olsen and Andreas Eick on row 2. Maxence Godinho and Anna Jorfi on row 3. Anna with a great qualifying performance, by the way. I forgot to mention that the first time. She's been improving, surely. So yeah, it's good to see that she is picking up the pace on those road courses. Connor Pearson and Sam Blackwood for Wyvern Racing on row 4. David Saranzo and Matthew Levine on row 5. Row 6, Danny Brennan, Axel Gumel. And then Adam Hyde and Brandon Dollar on row 7. With Manuel Gomez also going to take the green flag in the 15th position. Of course, those admins in 15th, 16th and 17th position, you should not count those, as they will not take the green flag at all. They're just here to kind of police and direct the race. As the cars are gridding up, so we have a full pace lap here at Watkins Glen as the pace car pulls off. It's going to be about 2-3 minutes before we actually take the green flag. So this brings up a nice topic. How about predictions? We've got 9 viewers in the chat. Kedrock and Robert Sadler in chat at the moment. It will be good to see everybody's championship predictions. Of course, Hugo Olsen leads it by 9 points over Will Lyon. So it is a pretty much winner takes all scenario, just like F1 in Abu Dhabi last weekend. So that's point 1, your predictions for the championship. I personally think that Will Lyon is going to have something to fight Hugo Olsen, so I think that Will Lyon is going to get the championship. But let me know what you guys think. And then for the race itself, of course, I already said Will Lyon can probably win this race. Then for the podium, I'm actually not quite sure myself, so it's gonna be a difficult one. I want to say Dinsdale P2 and then Olsen P3, maybe Ike P3. One of those two is gonna get the 3rd position, I would say. Those are my predictions. Of course, let me know yours, what you think, who's going to win the championship and the race. Robert says, Hugo, is that for the championship or for the race win? Well, I guess both actually, so never mind that question. One thing is for certain, Will Lyon needs to outscore Hugo Olsen by at least 10 points or more, of course, to win that title. Yes, it is Hugo versus Will. The showdown, as Jessica put it in chat. Hashtag history awaits. I wouldn't really say that Hugo is an underdog though, by the way, Robert. Hugo definitely knows what he's doing. Oscar in chat cheering for Sweden and Hugo, of course. So Oscar is hoping that Hugo comes away with the win and the championship tonight. So going through the boot section on the pace lap. Now I want to take a moment to quickly go on board with all the drivers to see what compound they're starting on. So Will Lyon on the reds, Daniel Dinsdale alongside him on the reds, as well as Andreas Eick and Hugo Olsen, the top 4. Then Anna Jorfi is the first car to start the race on those blacks, and like I said, the track will be the hottest at the start of the race, because if we pay attention to the weather here, it is about 3:30 p.m. in the sim. And the track temperature is 38 degrees, which will go down as the sun goes down as well as the air temperature. So Maxime Godinho also on the reds. Connor Pearson on the reds, as well as, actually not Sam Blackwood, he is also on the blacks. Connor Pearson on the reds, Matthew Levine on the blacks too. So 4 cars now on the blacks, David Saranzo as well. So quite a mixed up strategy here at, well, in the top 10. With Matthew Levine, the final car in that top 10, also on the black. So we have about a half-on-half mix as the pace car is making its way around the final few corners. And we're gonna get this championship decider underway here at the rescanned Watkins Glen. This race postponed a week, but we're finally here to decide the championship. As the pace car comes out of turn 15, pulls into the pits. As Daniel Dinsdale will line on the front row, gonna lead the field to the green flag. And here we go, underway from Watkins Glen. As Hugo Olsen already tries to have a look up the inside of Will Lyon, his championship rival. As he goes wide, takes the entire runoff area to build momentum up the hill. And Hugo Olsen already on the push to pass as he gets loose. Oh, he just caught the car there. That was almost going to end in tears, but he saves it. He's going to lose 2 or 3 positions. And he's going to drop to P6 into the inner loop section. But what a save by Hugo Olsen. As he is now under pressure from Connor Pearson as well. But Daniel Dinsdale and Will Lyon continue to lead a SMS Racing 1-2 at the moment. And Hugo's just got to regroup and rebuild his confidence now, because I'm sure that's been taking a hit when he almost lost the car there. And I gotta say, that even scared me as well, and I wasn't even in the cockpit, so can't imagine how he felt as he's having a look at the inside of Anna Jorfi, but nothing more than that. Now remember, Anna is on the black tires, so it will be a little bit longer before those tires are up to temperature for her. As Hugo with a very nice run through that corner, but has to back out of it due to the closing rates. And Hugo is very much on the limit already as he wants to dispose of Anna Jorfi as soon as possible. Goes to the inside for turn 1 here, and he is on the move trying to make up that lost ground as they're going 3 wide even. With Connor Pearson wisely backing out, and he is going to have a look as well, and he also gets by. So Anna Jorfi losing 2 positions in one go. As Will Lyon is going to make a move for the race lead on his teammate. As he gets the position, goes into the race lead, Will Lyon. In his attempt to clinch the series title tonight. Again, 9 points between Hugo Olsen and Will Lyon entering this race. And as it stands, Will Lyon will take that championship. And yes, Oscar, we can get up a replay from Hugo's near... Well, what was it? Near crash for sure. But it almost ended in tears there. We'll bring up a replay in just a second. Just want to see what happens here as Andreas Eich makes a move down the inside of Maxime Godinho. Didn't quite work though, but it was a very nice attempt for sure. So let's bring up the start on SDK and try to find the incident. As my SDK is messing up again, nice overlays, great. It's not showing on my screen anymore. Oh, it completely disappeared, how nice. Hold on. Alright, here it is again. That was odd. So let's see what happened to Hugo Olsen then. At the start. Here it is. Oh, that's the wrong one. As I try to find it because they're all passing on the pace lap, of course. That's great. Okay, green flag. Here it is. Alright, let's bring up the replay from this then. So Hugo Olsen almost lost it there, going up the hill. Got passed by quite a few cars there. This is from the top. Oh, you just saw it there. Almost caught the rear wing of Will Lyon there. And just got away with that. Now, can I get a good angle of this, please? Hello? Well, that's the best we can do for now, at least. He's still in the running, which is the most important thing. As there he is in the 5th position. From Stockholm in Sweden. Now, I will bring this up a few times tonight. Again, he did have that 9-point lead in the championship going into this race, but of course that near crash at the start didn't quite help his championship hopes. He's got a lot of ground to make up, 3 positions to be exact, which is not great, but it's a long race, 50 laps still to go. Anything can happen, and of course in IndyCar racing, you just never know what will happen. So you just need to be there at the end and keep your car on the grey stuff. So going back to lap 2 between Axel Gumel and Sam Blackwood, a nice battle for P10. As Gumel goes up the inside there. As he's also trying to make a move on the car in front, which is David Saranzo. So Daniel Dinsdale is the buffer between his teammate and Hugo Olsen now, who is 2 positions behind him. So he will now try, not to literally back up the entire pack, but he will try to defend as long as possible to help his teammates drive away out in front, as the gap's already gone up to 9/10 of a second. I think Oscar summed it up perfectly in chat. Holy damn, Hugo. Now these guys are getting into a fight for sure. This is a 4-way fight for position as Sam Blackwood goes up the inside now of David Saranzo, I think that is. Yes it is, as he is under pressure now from the car behind. Danny Brennan as well. There he is, let's go on board with him. Driver from Ireland. And Axel Gumel is doing really well to hold on to that position, P9. He's been defending from Sam Blackwood for the last 3-4 laps already. And of course these guys are all on the primary tires. There you can see it. As Dinsdale is actually slowly closing in on his teammate again, so he's got Godinho behind him to race for position. This is the battle for P2, and these guys have left Andreas Eich and Hugo Olsen behind as well. The gap is almost, well, it's gone over 2 seconds between Godinho and Eich. As Hugo Olsen is going to line up Godinho for a pass here through the S's. Makes it work. Even before they get to the inner loop on the push to pass. Now this is going to be something interesting to keep an eye on for me during this race. So I can keep an eye on the push to pass. I do believe it should be in here at least. Or they removed it from SDK again. They did have it before. I can't see it anymore. Okay, that's a shame. Well, that's disappointing for sure. I think Manuel Gomez has just had enough because he's been passed by Adam Hyde. Let's see what happened then to Manuel Gomez. Yes, he's gone off the track in turn 1. I think he missed his braking point and went straight on, so he regroups and gets back going again. As Hugo also now sets off to try and chase down Godinho for P3. So fuel window should be 16 laps without any fuel saving. Actually made it 15 just to be safe, 16 with a little bit of fuel saving and then 17 with maximum fuel save. So if you fully go for it without saving fuel, you can make this race a 3-stopper, which will actually be very close to being a on the same race speeds as the 2-stopper, which you can do 17, 17, 17. You can actually do 18 laps as well, which we saw in the VOR IndyCar series, with the cut of the mate doing 18 laps on the fuel tank, which was absolutely ridiculous. It's possible, but it's going to be painfully slow, so it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on those strategies. As I'm trying to keep up with the fights further down in the field, and also trying to keep an eye on the championship leaders, because they're the ones that we ultimately want to focus on tonight. As this was a battle for position a while ago, and that's actually a car blinking out. Which is not great, but it happens. So Daniel Dinsdale is going to be the first car to peel off into the pits. He's going to get rid of his reds, and let's see what compound he goes to. So he's going to make this a 3-stopper for sure. And of course he got the pole, so he has the first pit box. Or the last, depending on how you look at it. Of course it's the last one coming in, but the first one coming out. And he goes to the blacks. Gotta be careful on the pit out on cold tires, but he manages to keep the car on the track. And he actually has a very nice amount of clean air in front of him and also behind him, so nobody to really pressure him. He does have Manuel Gomez in front of him, which could be an issue in a few laps' time. So that leaves Will Lyon out in front with a 1.9 second lead over Maxime Godinho. And Hugo Olsen is actually closing in quite quickly on Godinho. About a few laps ago, that gap between those two drivers was about 2 seconds, as Will Lyon is pulling off into the pits as well now. So he's going to follow his teammate. And we have Conor Pearson also pulling off into the pits, with most of the front runners staying out for now, apart from these guys obviously, as they're in the pits now. So I would expect Will to follow the same strategy as Dan Dinsdale to go to the blacks. And Conor, I'm not so sure, he could go to the reds again. So Will did go to the blacks, and Conor Pearson does the same. As Hugo Olsen has now caught up to Maxime Godinho, which is now a battle for P1, the race lead. But of course, once this all shakes out, this will be the third position for Hugo Olsen, which he's trying to grab from Godinho. Godinho? I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's Godinho. That's the version that makes the most sense in my head. Saranzo is battling as well. He actually just got by Axel Gumel, so other way around, sorry. Gumel just got by Saranzo again. Up into P7. As Saranzo's having a look. But he's going to lose that momentum now as Hugo Olsen follows his championship rival a lap later into the pits. It will be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Will Lyon. So he's done a lap overcut, which in theory should be better because cold tires are usually slower on the out lap. So let's see where Hugo Olsen comes out in relation to his championship rival. Black tires going on the car. As Will Lyon makes his way across start finish into turn 1. So he's going to beat Hugo Olsen quite comfortably. So the SMS Racing drivers don't really have to worry about him, as just in the background there you saw Hugo Olsen exit the pits. So the gap about a second, but Hugo will have a lap fresher tires now, so he can also go a lap longer than these drivers, which will probably help him towards the end of the race. Because of said undercut, working quite well around these types of road courses. Of course, if you don't have the tire grip through the high-speed corners, you're not really going to go anywhere. So staying on those hotter tires might just make the difference between under or overcutting a driver. well, I should say just overcutting, because an undercut is not really going to work here. As Godinho also pits from the race lead, so that's going to leave Andreas Eick and Anna Jorfi out in the first and second positions. So 11 laps into this thing. We're not really near the fuel window yet, but these guys just want to get off those tires and go to the blacks. So this has got nothing to do with fuel, just the tires going off too much for the drivers, their likings. Also, for everybody watching in chat at the moment, I'm a big fan of fan interaction. Well, as much as we can call it fans, because, well, you guys are just viewers watching a broadcast. I mean, you can consider yourself a fan, which is great. I'm not sure if we have any fans, though. Just like F1 has, but anyway, if you're a viewer and you want to get involved and interact with me, have any questions or whatever, feel free to put them in chat. And of course, I'm happy to bring up some of your questions on the broadcast as well and answer those. Which is what they're meant for, of course. So yeah, feel free to put anything in chat. Of course, keep it appropriate with the language. Or try to, at least. I know how hard it can be sometimes, especially if you're a competitor and just come off an incident, for example, and you need to blow off steam in chat. But that's a different story. So we do have a bit of cloud cover right now, which will help those still running on the red tires. For example, Andreas Eick. And Anna Jorfi was on the blacks, so it won't help her out as much. But Andreas Eick will be able to go a lap longer or two. Because cloud cover definitely does help with the track temperature in some parts of the track. And of course, cooler track temperatures means that the tires last longer. Tire Science 101. Yes, I feel very smart right now. Oscar is a massive PMRL fan. Okay, well, at least we have somebody. So Oscar is one of my teammates, and he knows I love creating awkward situations, and I just made one for myself, so... I'm on the right path to be fired right away again by Jessica Saban. Got smoking Spitfire in chat. Gotta love dirty air from the leaders yeeting you off into the wall. Yeah, I think any dirty air, regardless of who it is from, is not really gonna be ideal. But yes, a shame for you. Just unlucky. So early on in the race, of course, too. So yeah, just a big shame. In the meantime, though, Andreas Eick made his way down into the pits as his car goes up the jacks and changes from the reds to the blacks. So Anna Jorfi started the race on the blacks. She will lead, I believe, her first laps of the season in her number 73 entry. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the broadcast, the last time I really remember her driving was at Road America, and she wasn't really up to speed since then, but she has definitely improved, which is great to see. Of course, she qualified in the top 6 already, which was a very great sign for things to come tonight, and she is delivering so far. Of course, this is all due to pit cycles, but she is leading her first laps here tonight, so hoping for her that she can come away with a good result. As we have a nice battle for position still between David Serrano and Axel Goumel, the two Frenchmen, battling for P4 at the moment. Both drivers on the primary tires as well, the blacks, as Goumel blinks out for his quick second there, but no issues big enough to kick him out of the session, thankfully. It's always a bit scary when you're racing against a driver that's blinking, especially when he disappears like that. I don't think that's too great. Just had a battle between Conor Pearson and Andreas Eick out of the pits. So let's quickly go back a lap ago to lap 13. This was, so there you can see Andreas Eick coming out of the pits. Conor Pearson on the outside for the S's here. Now, what I assume is that Andreas Eick went on the push to pass right about here. And he doesn't yet. It's just pure drafting at this point, so closes up to the rear wing again. And I think Pearson made a mistake or something. Yes, he did. He just clipped the grass on the outside there. So it's going to slow his momentum a little bit, but it's not quite big enough for Andreas Eick to make a move, so it looked more exciting on the session events than it really was in the end. As we get back to live here, Axel Gumel pulls into the pits, which is on the early side of the window for fuel, but it is possible to make it work from here as he blinks out, so we'll quickly shift to somebody else. As all the drivers that already pitted go by him now, so Will Lyon up in the P5 again. After he was one of the first drivers to pit from the race lead. Wanted to get off those red tires early and be done with the tire regulations. I'm sorry, Robert, I was quickly just looking at my other stuff, okay? What 3 famous people, dead or living, would you want at your fantasy dinner party? Actually, I don't know how many members Nickelback is. Is there 3 or 4 people? If it's 3 people, I want all of them. 2 retirements in 2 races from the same thing. I don't really know what to comment on that, just a big oof. Just take some time, I guess. You know, you gotta buy through these bad results and it will come to you eventually. Just gotta, as they say in the Netherlands, you gotta buy through the sour apple. It's very literally translated, but that's what we say over here. Just keep digging, you'll get there eventually. Trust me. So Sam Blackwood is the only car still running on the primary tires, and he is on the push to pass. I would assume this is going to be an in-lap for him, so maximum lap time to maybe make up some positions in the pit cycle. Yes, classic Julian, I know, right? I don't know many famous people. Well, I know famous people, but they're not people that I, think of, maybe we want to hang out and have dinner or something, So just my go-to answer, I guess. If I can pick 3 iRacing friends, though, it would be you. Oh man, I just shot myself in the foot because now I'm gonna leave somebody out from the team. Okay, different topic. Good shout, Oscar. Hugo's getting closer to Dinsdale, which is of course Will Lyon's teammate, so Dinsdale will try to defend as much as legally allowed for his teammate to back him up. Of course, this is all part of the championship fight. Again, 9 points going into this round separated Hugo Olsen in first from Will Lyon in second. Of course, Will Lyon now is in the, well, virtual race lead, I guess, because Sam Blackwood is still yet to pit, and that's actually just happened right now. He pulled into the pits. So Will Lyon goes back to the race lead, and as it stands, Will Lyon will be taking home that series championship. Really, Hugo also needs to win the race with Will Lyon finishing in second. Or of course Hugo in second and Will Lyon third, but that doesn't seem very likely at this point because Will Lyon's been absolutely on it all year since he joined this league. I remember at the start of the season, Will Lyon was the guy to beat on the road courses. And since then it's kind of evened out a little bit again. Of course, that meant that Hugo also was able to get into that championship fight. But we all know what Will Lyon's capable of, a very talented driver. Just like his teammate Daniel Dinsdale, by the way. This is something I picked up from the interviews that they gave. So Daniel Dinsdale used to be a NASCAR guy, and came into the Indy cars and was up to speed pretty much right away. So this goes to show that with a little bit of practice you can definitely drive any car anywhere. But Hugo Olsen definitely getting closer again, as the difference is about 6.5 tenths of a second. Yes, Oscar, I'm not gonna say anything anymore. I know I shot myself in the foot right there, so I'm not even gonna say anything anymore. Well, if we would have 3 of you, Robert, I think there would be a massive fight. As you know, sometimes our opinions clash a little bit, so... So this is also a battle going on. Anna Jorfi pitted a few laps ago in P7 at the moment, with Matthew Levine behind her, as he is drafting up to try and pass, but Levine not close enough to make anything happen yet. As he bounces off that curb quite aggressively. It's not going to be great for the undertray of his car. Absolutely right, Oscar. Still a long way to go. I didn't say you hated yourself, Robert. I'm just saying that our opinions sometimes clash, you know. Then it will be 3 against 1, you know. It's not fair. How about 2 of you and 2 of myself, you know. 2 of me. Wait, what's English? Oh, you just clipped the grass there. Oh, he's lucky to get away with that. That's a bit scary, not gonna lie. Yeah, between us. Who else? If there's 3 of you and 1 of myself. Who else? You know? So the last lap or 2, Hugo not really able to close in much more than he did before, which could be the dirty air factor coming into play as well. Of course, he's got Daniel Dinsdale directly in front, and then he's got his teammate Will Lyon in front of him as well. So he's got the dirty air of 2 cars basically to deal with, which of course the IndyCar isn't very dirty air sensitive, but it's not great to have dirty air in the first place, is what I'm trying to say. You can definitely feel it's there. So, with Will Lyon and Daniel Dinsdale pitting on the early side of the window for the primary tires, we could see them coming into the pits in a few laps time as well. So remember that Hugo Olsen's tires are about 3-4 laps fresher than Daniel Dinsdale and Will Lyon. Let me check how much fresher they are exactly. So actually he's got 2 lap fresher tires than Daniel Dinsdale in front, and 1 lap fresher tires than Will Lyon. I thought it was a bit more than that, to be honest, but commentators are there to be proven wrong. And of course also to curse other drivers when they're racing. Not guilty of commentators cursing anybody. Quite a few times. That's exactly what I was kind of considering as well, Oscar. I didn't want to say it early on, but we could definitely see Daniel do a Checo for Will. Just to back up Hugo as much as possible. I mean, you can already see that Daniel was about 0.8 back a few laps ago. He's already gone up to 1.2. Of course, he's not really backing him up, because I think Will Lyon at this point in the race is just a little bit quicker than his teammate. But of course, his car being there in front of Hugo Olsen is definitely going to help Will pull away a little bit more. Now, what you could also keep in mind is Will Lyon needs to win this race. That's point 1. Hugo also needs to finish 3rd for Will Lyon to come away with the championship. So with Daniel Dinsdale being in there and Will Lyon leading laps, probably on his way to leading the most laps as well, that's probably going to seal it for him. So if Daniel can just finish in P2, which of course there's a very long way to go still, but if he can do that, then Will Lion and Daniel might be going for some beers later this week, in the weekend probably, because they've got stuff to work on for SMS, Slightly Mad Studios. I don't know about you guys, but it's always weird to say or hear SMS. I mean, here in the PMRL it means Slightly Mad Studios because that's the company that they work for, but SMS, you know, the messaging stuff from even before my time, I think. I mean, I'm 17, but still. I think it's before my time. Robert, you're a bit older than I am. Can you confirm, when was SMS last really used? I think it was before the introduction of the iPhone, so actually I might have been 3 then. I don't know. Exactly, Hugo just needs to keep on the pressure. Just to try to force Daniel Dinsdale into a mistake. You can definitely see that Hugo is a lot quicker through the slower corners as we have some smoke. Oh, Manuel Gomez has just crashed a moment ago. I actually have a few things that went on whilst I was looking in the chat. So let's bring up Sam Blackwood going off the circuit on lap 18. Goes through the grass there, just a minor off track. And Axel Gumel did a similar thing, I would assume. Oh, actually did something much worse than that. Let's see what happened to Axel Gumel. That's strange. Okay, he clipped the grass for sure, but his car looked damaged there already. This happened later on. He's blinking too much. I can't really get anything to show. Okay, well, this was Conor Pearson making a move on Maxime Godinho for P4. Very easy down the inside there for the inner loop. Very nice and solid move. And Andreas Eick also pounced a few moments later. There it is, down the inside for turn 1, later on the brakes, and takes that position as well. So this is now going to be Manuel Gomez's crash, which yes it is, through turn 12. Clips the grass and spins out. Slightly hits the wall, but it was enough to do some damage to the front suspension, I would imagine. Yes, it did. For sure to the front wing. As we are back live. SMS is much older than I am. Okay. You see, I'm too young for this, you know. I mean, I know of its existence because I follow IT at school, which is not something I enjoy doing, but that's a different topic. So yeah, I know it from that, but you make a fair point there, Robert. If it's not through the internet, it's still considered an SMS. You're right actually on that one. But anyway, Hugo Olsen definitely getting very close now to Daniel Dinsdale. Again, he's got 2 lap fresher tyres, which won't mean much, but of course that means that Daniel Dinsdale's tyres will be going off right about 2 laps earlier, of course, depending on tyre management. But we're not really keeping that in mind during this race, as we are approaching halfway. We're about 4 laps away from it. I mean, even Robert had to Google it, so that's my defense. And me not knowing it, as the 2 SMS racing cars come into the pits on the same lap, lap 23. Now, this will be interesting. Are they going to go to another set of the primary tires, or will they be going? Will they be going to the alternate tires? As I'm struggling for English again, just like on my last broadcast at Phoenix, but. The 2 SMS cars pulling into the pit boxes. They've got the first 2 pit boxes in line. As Will Line goes up the jacks first. He goes to the blacks again, as well as his teammate. With 30 laps to go, so they're going to be looking to do 2 15-lap stints, I would imagine. But that leaves Hugo Olsen out on track now. So this will give him a point for leading a lap. Regardless if he pits this lap or not, because Andreas Eik is too far back. So Hugo Olsen will cross the start-finish line before Andreas Eik, even if he pits. So that will give him credit for leading a lap and give him 1 championship point. Which isn't much, but of course 1 point in a championship fight like this always helps. Again, 9 points going into this race was the advantage that Hugo Olsen had. So Hugo is going to pull an overcut now on Daniel Dinsdale, which was the car he was racing for position. So Hugo Olsen going to pull into the pits as well now. Very aggressive on the pit entrance. I think he slowed it down just in time though, so let's see where he comes out. And you want to be careful doing that, Hugo. You don't want to speed into the pits too much. Of course, when you shift up and down in the pits, it gives you a little bit more speed down the pit lane. But it's a very big risk to take, especially in a championship fight like this, to not pick up a speeding penalty there. So hopefully he didn't, but Levine and Jorfi go by as well as Andreas Eik, which are now the top 3. Sam Blackwood goes by, Hugo Olsen. Now, Hugo Olsen pulls away, so didn't get a penalty. Let's see where he rejoins in relation to Will Lyon. There they are through turns 1 and 2. And he's going to rejoin side by side with Will Lyon, his championship rival, up the hill. And Hugo Olsen for sure going to be on the push to pass as well as Will Lyon. They're both on the push to pass, I think. No, Hugo's not on the push to pass at all. Which is surprising. He's got to hold the inside line though. And Will Lyon pulls by before the braking zone. So Will Lyon to the lead again. But crucially for Hugo Olsen, he did make up a position compared to Daniel Dinsdale. So right now, as it stands, I do believe Hugo Olsen will be the champion. Quickly trying to work out the maths in my head there. So Will Lyon will pick up 50 for the win, 51 for leading a lap, 53 for leading the most laps, if he does that of course. And Hugo Olsen will pick up 41 points, so it's 12 points different. 12 points different. So no, at this point, Will Lyon will be the champion this season if it stays as it is. So Hugo Olsen needs to win this race from this point onwards if he wants to have a shot at the title. As Andreas Eik continues for one more lap. So does Anna Jorfi and Matthew Levine. Did you seriously get a penalty at Road America for that, Oscar? Speeding in the pits. Was that during VOR Season 5? Or when was it? Yeah, Hugo will have another shot at that overcut, Robert, you're right. Yeah, it did seem like the overcut was definitely more powerful on this pit cycle compared to the first one. But I think that was also partially due to Hugo absolutely nailing the pit entrance. So if he does that again, he could come away with the race lead for the final round of pit stops. Also, let me know if I should move my mic a little bit away from my mouth. Normally it doesn't really pick up my voice that well when I have it farther away, but it's literally in my mouth right now, so let me know if it's so good or not. I can move it away a little bit, but yeah. Andreas Eik crossed the line to start lap 27, so we are halfway into this thing. A 54 lapper at Watkins Glen. No worries, Robert, I got you. I mean, I just noticed myself I made a mistake on the pit strategy talk earlier in the broadcast. I said 17 laps is the fuel window. That's 51 laps if you do it on 2 stops, which is 3 laps short, so we're in the same boat. Yeah, Oscar, here's the thing, my memory isn't always that great. Like, I remember the things I want to remember, so, you know, if there's a thing that, you know, gave me a better result, but to my own race it didn't have much relevance. Of course it gave me 1 position, I guess, technically, but I just forget it. That's just how my brain works. I'm a bit weird, I know, but yeah. Sorry. Sorry for not remembering, but speeding into the pits is definitely very easy to get. Your mic is fine, perfect. It's very good looking, I agree. So Andreas Eik pulls into the pits. And Anna Jorf is gonna stay out. She's gonna lead a lap tonight again. She led earlier in the race, and is gonna do the same again. And she's got Matthew Levine behind her. Also for SMS Racing. Now let's see if Andreas Eik and Conor Pearson are going to be close. It's not going to be very close. So Conor Pearson gets in front of Andreas Eik, who exits the pits. There. Just behind him. And Danny Brennan also into the pits. From P9. Actually overshoots his pit box, so he's going to have to... Oh, he was too far to the left. Okay, so he's going to back up and drive into the pit box again. And why is this car not lifting up? Oh, it did. I just didn't see it lift up. Okay, perfect. So, fresh tires and fuel for Danny Brennan. As we go back to the leaders. Ah, okay. Well, I mean, technically that's speeding in the pits, Oscar. Because you sped in the pits. That's just me trying to, you know, when I'm broadcasting, I lose all my brain cells. This is just me trying to think I'm smart, but I'm not. I'm sorry. I have to say, man, 1080p 60 looks really good on my streams. I tried this out a few days ago for the Christmas Cup, and it works. So that's the good thing. But lap 29 of 54, we have 11 cars still running on the lead lap, 12 cars running in total with Manuel Gomez a lap down. He had an incident earlier in the race where he spun and hit the wall, but he is still running. And then from 13th on to 18th, if you include all the admins, we have 6 cars out, and if you exclude them, we have 4 cars out. 3 cars out, as I can't even count anymore. I have to say though, everybody, I appreciate you all staying with me here. 10 viewers, and it's been fairly consistent all night long. So thanks everybody for watching in the first place, and also staying in here to watch this championship unfold. Of course, Will Lyon versus Hugo Olsen. As we have 25 laps to go at Watkins Glen, with Anna Jorfi still leading from Matthew Levine, a second and a 10th back. So Anna Jorfi's last pit lap was lap 15, same as Matthew Levine, and lap 16 for Sam Blackwood. So we are now on lap 30. So we should be seeing Jorfi and Levine pit this lap or the next, if they have been saving a little bit of fuel. And Sam Blackwood, of course, a lap later than the top 2. Very dangerous, right? Speeding by 1 kilometer per hour. It's a good thing you lose sleep, Oscar. I think... should I say this on air? No. Okay, I will. I think you lost a bit more sleep after Season 2 Road America. Just kidding, I love you, bro. So Anna Jorvi pits from the race lead. That's going to leave Matthew Levine out for one more lap. He's going to pick up a point for leading a lap. Sam Blackwood, of course, also stays out a lap, as he's got a lot more fuel in the tank than Anna had. Of course, she's in the pits now, and Matthew has. Pray for the god of marshals, Jason Camps. I agree. He is the best admin possible for a league, you know. We should bring him on board for VOR. So Andreas Eyck and Conor Pearson have been together for a few laps now. But it does seem like Andreas Eyck is saving a little bit of fuel. Let's try to confirm that. Ooh, don't want to clip that grass too often there. It's going to upset the car quite a bit. It's a low blow. I mean, he sure does know a lot more than we do, right? Because we're just sim racing. Can I say that word over here? I'll just do it anyway. Sim racing plebs. I don't even know if it's a bad word or not. But yeah. I think replacing Michael Massey is a bit too much for him. I think he needs to start out, you know, in that medium level, and then work his way up. So Matthew Levine also pits a lap later than Anna Jorvi did. Let's see if he can overcut her on this pit cycle. Oh, this is actually going to be a lot closer than I thought it would be. So Anna Jorvi rejoins behind Matthew Levine when he comes out of the pits, but going up the hill, she is on the push to pass. Actually, she's not going to be able to make anything work. She will close up to the back end of his car, but won't be able to make a move because she is too far back. So Matthew Levine makes the overcut work. Now there's not really any corners to pass on anymore for Anna, so I think Matthew's got this position for now as he makes his tires up to temperature. So Anna goes to the outside now. Ooh, this is gonna be spicy. Around the outside, not gonna work though. The shorter distance for Matthew works out a bit better than the momentum on the outside. I mean, we don't have Hamilton in VOR, so there's no bias to be, you know, interfered with, I guess. Or have. I don't know proper English. So, a lap later than Matthew Levine, Sam Blackwood also pits. And it's pretty straightforward. These guys are all really just going to the blacks to finish off the race, probably. Actually, no, we're not inside that pit window yet, so it's going to be another black stint and then another red stint to finish off the race with. Actually, of course, Sam Blackwood goes to the reds right as I say that, of course. So Sam Blackwood going to go to the reds. So he's got 22 laps to go, which... Ooh, yep. He's going to get a penalty for that. He just went over the yellow line for the pit exit, which... on iRacing, at this track specifically, there is no mercy to be given. I picked up a penalty myself here as well in the past, and it's safe to say it had me very annoyed. Robert and Oscar can vouch for that, they know. Oh! So Sam Blackwood trying to push... Oh yeah, he's going to go into the wall. So that's it, day done for Sam Blackwood, trying to push to make up that penalty that he just received, and just clipped the curb and slid into the barriers. Let's bring up a replay from that. From the blimp. The car bounced off the curb too, so there's no way you can save the car and then into the safer barrier there on the outside of the inner loop. As we get another TV angle from this. I know Vilda likes to take pictures of a car crashing, so I think this one is going to have a very big chance of making it on the Discord server. Speaking of Vilda, by the way, check out her iRacing paints on Instagram. She does commissions, so check it out. Which is a bad advert, by the way, considering a car just crashed. But There you go. So in the meantime, Andreas Eich got by Connor Pearson, and Connor Pearson is going to line him back up again to try and make that position back. As none of them are using push to pass, so Connor Pearson to the inside for the inner loop. It's going to have the inside line. You can go side by side here, but Andreas Eich decides it's better not to do that, which safe to say I actually agree with. So Connor Pearson back up into P4 at the moment. I believe they still have to pit though, if I'm not mistaken. Connor Pearson is on 4-lap older tyres though than Andreas Eich. So probably some tyre life falling away for Eich. I know that he is quite an aggressive driver. Whether that translates to his tyre wear, I'm not actually 100% certain on that, but it would make sense to me that it does. So it's not great for his stint at the moment. I think he's just trying to survive until 16 laps to go to make his final pit stop. But in all of that, Will Lyon is 2.3 seconds clear of his teammate Daniel Dinsdale. And Hugo Olsen has just dropped back to P3 again. So Dinsdale got by Hugo Olsen. Let's bring up a replay. Here it is. So Daniel Dinsdale on the outside line. Oh! Backs out of it here. Hugo goes a little bit wide. So Daniel Dinsdale is going to set him up through this corner right here. Hugo Olsen actually clips the grass there as well, which is not great for his momentum. And Hugo has a look up the inside, sorry, not Hugo, Daniel Dinsdale has a look up the inside here. Isn't able to make it work yet. And he is for sure showing himself in the mirrors of Hugo Olsen as he goes slightly wide. And I think he actually passed him up the, oh, he actually passed him here. Hugo Olsen with a bit of a mistake. And Daniel Dinsdale pounces right away, goes up the inside for turn 14 and passes him cleanly on the inside as well. And crucially, makes an even bigger gap between Will Lyon and Hugo Olsen in the point standings. So yeah, speaking of those points, as it stands, Will Lyon will take that series championship from Hugo Olsen. Of course, Hugo led it going into this race, but Will Lyon is going to be about 12 points in front of Hugo Olsen after this race. Or making up 12 points, I should say. Is that correct? Wait. No, it's 19 points because Olsen is in third position. It's so difficult to do math from the top of your head when you're broadcasting. You've got so much to keep an eye on, and then you have to do quick maths as well, you know. Robert, if you can, please call Big Shaq for me. The quick maths, you know. You know. Yeah. So 19 laps to go. Coming up to the final fuel window for tonight, which will open in a lap. Of course, if you save fuel, you can do 17 laps. Well, in fact, if you really save fuel, like Dakota the Maid did in VOR, you can actually go 18 laps, but I don't think anybody wants to give that a go at all, because it's so painfully slow, but it is a possibility. But yeah, safe to say the fuel window opens in a lap, which you can make with some fuel saving, and then really I think the most realistic option is 15-16 laps to go, because then you can basically go flat out to the finish. Sam Blackwood, oh yeah, we just covered this crash a little bit ago. So yeah, of course Sam clipped that curb on the inside, and there was no way in saving the car really, just slid into that safer barrier. And it's actually very easy to do that too, because that curb is so high, especially on this rescan of Watkins Glen. On the old Watkins Glen, you could actually get away with it sometimes if you hit it right, depending on how you look at it. But if you hit it wrong, you can actually do the same. But these curbs on this scan a lot less forgiving than they used to be. So Oscar, I know before the race you said Hugo Olsen would win the title. Would you like to change your prediction? In the meantime, let's have a quick look at the pit strategy. So, of course, all the drivers have made two pit stops. You can actually see that Will Lyon pitted a lap earlier than his teammate Dan Dinsdale on the first stint, and then for the second stint, or the second pit stop, they pitted at the same time, which we of course covered live as well. And then Hugo Olsen did a similar strategy. He pitted a lap later though than Will Lyon, his championship rival, and then pitted a lap earlier. A lap later for the second pit stop. I'm looking at the lap numbers here, or the stint length I should say. So that's what confused me for a quick second there. But Conor Pearson on the same strategy as the race leader at the moment, with Andreas Eich doing something more different compared to everybody else, just like Matthew Levine and Anna Jorfi as well, with Danny Brennan doing a more similar strategy to the leaders again. So yeah, once again, check out Vopsy on Instagram. She does iRacing Paints, Vilda that is, from the PMRL. She's the co-admin alongside Jessica Sabin, of course. Also thanks for allowing me to broadcast this again, by the way. But yeah, Vilda does great iRacing Paints. She's actually made a few VOR paints for us as well, mainly for Oscar, who's been racing in some very competitive leagues. And yeah, they always look great, of course. So check it out on Instagram. You can DM her for commissions. Of course, she charges us some money for them. But yeah, check it out, of course, on Instagram. We've also got Majors Garage that sponsors the PMRL. If you go to the referral code in the description, if you use that, PMRL actually gets a small amount of money from that purchase. Of course, it's well, I'm not sure how big that share is, but it doesn't cost you anymore, but it gives PMRL some money, of course, to host these races with and keep going. So use the referral code and yeah, get some good setups from Majors Garage. I've used some of theirs before, and safe to say they're not that bad at all. They're actually pretty good. So if you do any open setup series or leagues or whatever, Majors Garage is the place to be. So Will Lyon and Daniel Dinsdale both come into the pits, and Hugo Olsen decides not to do the overcut this time. He's gonna pit with the leaders with 16 laps to go, so the fuel window is open. Now this is gonna be crucial. Let's bring up the weather here as well. Track temperatures actually stayed the same, to my surprise, I have to say. I thought it would be going down quite a bit, but still 38 degrees then, but it is later in the day, so it could help a little bit with the tire wear, but I would assume that looking at the track temperature, all of the drivers will be going to the blacks again to finish off the race with. Daniel Dinsdale does that, as well as Hugo Olsen, and Will Lyon is already away on the blacks too. So the top three on the blacks, and they rejoin in the same order they came in. Thank you, Oscar. I forgot which cars you actually ran again with those paints, but it's the F3 and the Porsche Cup. Oof, that was a bit close with the grass there for Daniel Dinsdale through the inner loop. As Hugo runs nice and wide again. So like I said, the fuel window is open. Anna Jorfi, Matthew Levine and Andreas Eich are on slightly different strategies. So I would expect them to go a few laps longer, and maybe if I was in Anna's shoes, for example, and Matthew's shoes, you could go to the reds to finish off the race with. Of course, they put it on lap 30 and lap 31, so if you do 16 laps, it's lap 46. Then you have 8 laps to go. And then if you're Anna, of course, then you can run the reds to the end without too much fall off. So that is something that could work. Of course, Anna is going to be forced to go to the reds for the final stint because she started on the blacks. And from what I remember, didn't move away from them at all tonight. So she will have to run the reds for the final stint. Not quite sure about Matthew Levine though. I have to say the new Watkins Glen looks absolutely lovely. It looks so much better than the old one. Just literally everything looks better. The attention to detail, just the curbs even, well that's what it is in real life, but still. Of course recently iRacing with the new tracks like the new Phoenix, in a way the new Michigan and Pocono as well, of course those are a few years old already, but the newer scanned tracks look absolutely stunning, and I hope iRacing soon rescans IMS, because it needs it. The new road course, the new speedway with all the new improvements that Roger Penske made in real life. It's not going to change a huge thing to the racing on the big oval, but it's always nice to look at, the scenery, I guess. For the oval part. The road course, of course, has a completely different track to what it is on iRacing at this point. Because the current IMS scan is from 2009, which is 12 years old. About as old as this Watkins Glen track used to be on iRacing before it of course got updated last week. That was also the reason why, by the way, this race was postponed until this week, of course tonight. Simply lovely indeed, Oscar. So Watkins Glen in the PMRL tonight was postponed until tonight because of the rescan. Of course the drivers need some time to get familiar with the new scan. So that's why we ran it tonight instead of last week, which is also the reason why you are not watching to the virtualracing.network, which is of course Trevor Greenfield, who used to cover the races this season. Of course now I'm doing it tonight, but he's done a fantastic job. Just wasn't quite able to make it with some scheduling changes of course for the week. If you want to join the Prime Meridian Racing League, by the way, I will quickly grab a Discord invite link. Season 3 news should drop fairly soon. In the next few days, I would expect. Let's hope that Jessica gave me moderator, or at least permissions to post the link, and yes I did. Okay, perfect. So the Discord link is in the chat. Of course, I'm Julian Altena, so if you want to join the PMRL, the Prime Meridian Racing League for Season 3, there is the Discord. You can sign up on there and get involved. Oh, just moved away there as Anna Jorfi gets by a left car. I thought it was for position. My bad. Robbed. Link hasn't come through. Okay, well, let me quickly do this in a different way, if I can. Let's hope something exciting doesn't happen now. Actually, do I have even permission to invite? Oh, I even have permission to change something on the server. Of course, I'm not going to do anything with that, but alright, give me just a quick second so I can post it from the League YouTube account. But Matthew Levine leads Anna Jorfi by 0.6 of a second. Of course, those two cars still yet to pit. Will Lyon is closing in on those two. Of course, he already pitted a few laps ago. There we go, that should do it. Oh, this shot is great from the curbs. Beautifully shown the speeds of these Dallara iRacing Indy cars on iRacing, which is in the broadcasting policy, so this is iRacing, in case you couldn't tell it from the logo in the bottom right. Which is an online iRacing simulation game. They don't like to be called a game, but it is. So yeah, that's what we race on. There, I did my say. Now they can't take this broadcast down. So Danny Brennan and David Saranza also came into the pits this lap. And Danny has gone onto the reds, and David Saranza did the same. I hate Discord so much sometimes. I mean, I'm copying the Discord invite link on the server, so I don't know how it's not... Why does it not allow me to send you a... I literally sent it before on my phone. That's strange. I'll just DM Jessica and ask her to share a Discord link on the YouTube account in chat. There you go, done. Hopefully Jessica reads it and sends a link soon. Because for some unknown reasons I'm not allowed to do it, even though I'm literally logged into the channel myself, which is weird. But yeah. What did I say, Oscar? I don't remember. I didn't drink, trust me. Huh? I'm confused right now. Anyways, at the moment the fastest lap in the race, which is not worth a point at all, but it is a nice stat to have, I guess, is Andreas Eich with a 1:26.21, which is about 1.4 seconds away from the pole time, which was a 1:24.8 by Daniel Dinsdale. Excuse me if you heard that. If not, great. iRacing is a game. Well, it is. It is literally a game. Okay, that's true, Robert, I admit. The worst thing is I actually remember myself doing it now too. I'm sorry, Robert. So anyways, Matthew Levine and Anna Jorfi finally come into the pits with 8 laps to go. This is right on their window for fuel. 16 laps since their last pit stop. So they're gonna make it down pit road and go to the reds. And give it one final push until the finish. Yeah, Jessica, if you can, please post a Discord invite link. I tried to do it before, but it didn't work. I think it's something to do with the Discord admin perms. But Levine and Jorfi come out of the pits on red tires as predicted. So they're gonna have a proper attempt at fastest lap of the race. which again will not give you any extra points, but it is a nice thing to have. At least they can say I was the fastest during the race. I guess this is a little bit off topic, but when I started league racing myself on the F1 games, I actually used to go for fastest lap just to tell everybody in school, you know, I was the fastest car on track, but I got taken out by some dumb person. So yeah, that's something that you could do with the fastest lap, just as an example. Anyways, 8 laps to go then. Will Lyon still leads from Daniel Dinsdale and Hugo Olsen as it stands. Will Lyon will quite comfortably take the Series Championship in the Prime Meridian Racing League this season, in Season 2. Again, if you want to get involved for Season 3, there should be a Discord link posted in the YouTube chat in a moment. So you can sign up on the Discord and get involved with these drivers and of course race as well. Of course, Season 3 will start next year, which sounds funny at first, but if I can make an estimation, I would say end of January, maybe early February it will start. Just a guess, because I don't know anything about the schedule for Season 3 yet. I haven't been told anything, which is great. Keeps a surprise element in it. But current running order, the top 10. Will Lyon, Daniel Dinsdale, Hugo Olsen, Andreas Eich, Connor Pearson rounds off the top 5, and then the top 10 of course Matthew Levine, Anna Jorfi, Danny Brennan, David Sorrento and Brandon Dollar. And we still have 8 cars on the lead lap and 12 cars still running. As the top 3, actually the closest battle on the track as well, so we'll just stay with these guys and stay on board with Hugo Olsen. Top 3, very big spice indeed. At the moment though, the championship looks to be pretty much in Will Lyon's hands. Not entirely yet, because in order to finish first, you first have to finish. I just tried to post it on my own channel again. YouTube.com. There it is, in chat. Oh, just saw Hugo clip the grass on the outside there, just had a little moment of oversteer. We saw him do that earlier in the race as well, about 15 laps ago, which was a little bit more on the risky side than this one, but still, it's not great. But it definitely shows that he is pushing those limits, as he's on the push to pass now as well. As Daniel Dinsdale is also on the push to pass, so he knows somehow that Hugo Olsen is on that push to pass, trying to make anything happen. He's just trying to break the toe here and holds on to that position as Hugo gets really close to the rear wing of Daniel Dinsdale through the inner loop. As Hugo once again driving that very wide line out of turn 7. So of course, if you've been watching tonight's race with us, you know that Hugo Olsen had a very scary moment up the hill on the first lap. Let's go back to that on lap 1 here. Looking from the chopper, as there you can see Hugo just behind Will Lyon, his championship rival. Just took the air away from him and almost lost the car going up that hill. So let's actually rewind a little bit there so we can actually see it from the onboard. So there you can see on the push to pass, Hugo was on lap 1. Actually, yeah, just as he turned away to try to get alongside, the car just stepped out. And luckily he saved the car. He did get passed by about 3 or 4 cars though, and had to make up that ground again. But now he is back in the fight for the championship, although he does have Will Lyon's teammate between himself and Will Lyon. Of course, Hugo Olsen that is. So as it stands, Will Lyon will make up 9 points in the championship and also gain some points on him in the championship standings. As it stands, I believe Will Lyon will win the championship by about 10 points, which is a very big turnaround in one race time. Of course, Will Lyon led the most laps, led a lap, and also is going to win the race probably, because I don't think Daniel Dinsdale is going to try anything to try and win this race, knowing that the Drivers' Championship is at stake for his teammate. Jessica, if you're watching, can you please throw the caution? Famous last words. Michael, no. So 2 laps to go from the rescanned Watkins Glen. Will Lyon still leads the way from his teammate Daniel Dinsdale in 2nd position, with Hugo Olsen trying to go for the championship. In the 3rd position, he's on the push to pass. Daniel Dinsdale is also on the push to pass. So nothing really gonna happen here at all in terms of positional changes, as they're all on the push to pass, so it's not really going to make a difference. And in fact, right as I say that, Hugo Olsen right on the gearbox of Daniel Dinsdale with 2 laps to go. This is not entirely over yet, as he is desperately trying to get by Daniel Dinsdale to at least keep his championship hopes alive for a lap. Because when he does get by, he's got to pray that Will Lyon makes a mistake of some kind, which of course we know that Will Lyon is not the driver to really make mistakes that easily. But that's his only chance for Hugo Olsen at this stage, because with 1.5, well, just over 1 lap to go, it's looking less and less likely that he will come away with the series championship. He did go into this race with an advantage, but that advantage has been completely wiped away by the SMS Racing drivers on their way to take a 1-2, like they have done so many times this season. White flag is out for Will Lyon, as Daniel Dinsdale is trying to break the draft from Hugo Olsen. So it's one final push up the hill. Does Hugo Olsen have any push to pass left? I don't think he has any. I can't see any on the steering wheel, so he's used all of it up. Daniel Dinsdale has 1. Is he going to try to do anything on his teammate? I wouldn't expect him to, and I don't think he will even get the chance to do that. Lifts off slightly, so Will Lyon holds on for now, and all he's got to do at this stage is bring the car home. As Hugo Olsen once again is right on the gearbox of Daniel Dinsdale. Will he send it up the inside? He does have a look, but decides not to do it, which is the wise decision. Of course, you don't want to end it in tears. Hugo is so much quicker going into the corner. It's unbelievable, but I don't think he's going to have enough to take that position. So going up the hill for one final time. And this is the last lap, remember, so anything kind of goes. As Hugo Olsen pushes it to the limit, he goes into the wall. So that's going to seal the championship for Will Lyon as he goes through the final corner here. And he is going to come over a 9 points deficit to take the win at Watkins Glen and the championship in the Prime Meridian Racing League. Congratulations to Will Lyon on a fantastic drive tonight and all season long. His teammate finishes P2. Once again, it is a 1-2 for SMS Racing, who of course are the team's championship winners as well. And Andreas Eich is going to finish in the third position. And Hugo Olsen is trying to limp his car to the pits, but it's not going to be for anything. It's not going to be worth anything because he has lost so many positions already. He was running in the third position, and of course with that mistake is going to drop further down the field. And I have to say I'm actually feeling quite a bit of pain for Hugo there. Of course he lost it almost going up the hill on lap 1. Did a fantastic recovery to even be near the leaders, which is an achievement on its own. Because we all know how fast Will Lyon and Daniel Dinsdale are. And of course when you lose so many positions on lap 1, it's not easy to overcome that and get back in the mix. But Hugo Olsen did it, and he came close. And he can definitely be proud of the season he has put together. It just wasn't quite enough, but I'm sure next season he will have a very good go at it, and maybe he can even come away with the title then. But this season it's Will Lyon that takes all the fame of the Season 2 title, of course. And well, what's there to say? It was just a phenomenal drive tonight as he does some donuts, as he also hits the wall there. So very deserved donuts, and I'm sure he's going to bring some to work tomorrow as well. And he's actually giving Watkins Glen a free lawn mower there, so that's very kind of him. So Anna Jorfi still running around. She finished actually in P6, which is a very respectable finish. Another top 6 for her. She got this in qualifying too, by the way. So very nice and consistent race from her side, which of course shows with the result. Speaking of results, let's bring up the race results if iRacing has already got them for us, and they have. So of course, it's a 1-2 for SMS Racing. Will Lyon wins the race half a second ahead of his teammates. Will Lyon is also the Series Championship winner, of course, so congratulations once again to him and the team, of course, with Dinsdale in second. Andreas Eich finishes in third, Conor Pearson fourth, Matthew Levine, also for SMS Racing, finishes fifth. Anna Jorfi, with a great run tonight, finishes sixth. Hugo also ran third for the majority of the race, made that one mistake, but came back, but unfortunately with that final lap mistake, dropped down to P7 there at the end. Danny Brennan finishes P8 for Black Cat Racing. And we've got David Soranzo and Manuel Gomez Esteban actually finishing in the top 10. Great result for him. And just goes to show that all you have to do is finish and keep the car on the track, and you can actually get away with a really good result. So great run by Manuel. Brandon Dollar finishes P11, Sam Blackwood P12, then Maxime Godinho P13, Axel Gumel P14, 15th is Adam Height, and of course the 3 admins are officially classified, but they really weren't in the race at all. So yeah, we got Vilda in 16th, Jessica in 17th, and it's JB Jessica's second account, I think it is, in 18th, if not, sorry. But those are your race results at Watkins Glen. Let's see if anybody is on the Discord for some post-race interviews. Just give me a quick second to pull everything up on the Discord. Dun, 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 dun. PMRL iRacing League. Alright, I'm not seeing anybody in the channels yet, so I'll just give it a quick minute. Of course, I took over the broadcasting duties tonight, so some stuff might be a bit confusing for some of the drivers, so we'll just give them a little bit of time to join the Discord if they want to talk to us. In the meantime, though, we've seen a great race. Of course, lap 1, like I've said a few times already, Hugo also made that mistake, which put him down into P6. Fought his way back up into 3rd place, and of course, it was a race at the front between Daniel Dinsdale and Will Lyon. Of course, Will Lyon took that race lead away from Dinsdale and really never looked back. Of course, Dinsdale was that buffer all night long towards the back. And yeah, just saw a great race overall. We had some really good overtaking moves, I should say. Opportunities we had in the beginning of the race, of course. But overall, can't complain about this event at all. It was a great race once again, just like you would expect from Watkins Glen. And yeah, of course, it's very unfortunate for Hugo Olsen to make that mistake on the final lap. But of course, Will Lyon drove incredibly well tonight and all season long. He was the man to beat in the first race, and he was the man to beat in the last race. So a perfect way to sign it off for him. And of course, a little bit of prize money and I believe also a majors code. I believe that is for Will. Hello, Hugo.
Yeah, hello.
Let me just bump you up on my stream here. So, well, we'll just start with you then, I guess. We saw you make that mistake on the opening lap, which set you back a little bit. But overall, you were actually able to make up that ground very quickly. Just talk us through the race from then on.
Yeah, I knew into this that I had point advantage, so I was just trying to do whatever I could to finish in front of Will Lyon. So on the opening lap, I was doing everything to try to get the lead there, even using push to pass to try to sneak up the inside of 2nd place into turn 1, and then up through the SS. When I put my nose on the inside in one of the right-handers, the car just got loose. So that's really, I'm not sure why it happened. I guess it's just cold tires and just to have dropped movements in the steering wheel. So need to think about that more in the future. But from that point on, I was just trying to close back the gap and just pushing 100% every lap. Yeah, and then in the second to last stint, I unfortunately got some damage on my car. So I was just trying to hang on until the last stint, and I was close to get by one of the cars, but just about couldn't do it.
Well, you came very close, and it was a very good championship fight that you had. You just came up short, basically, because of that lap 1 incident and also the damage that you picked up. But still, you can be very proud of the race that you drove tonight. It was a pleasure watching you race for sure, because you got really close to the grass a few times too. I remember one time you almost spinning out there, I believe. But yeah, just didn't quite go your way there towards the end as well, which is a big shame. But yeah, like I said, you can be proud. So any thoughts going into next season for you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been good competition with some really quick drivers, so I'm hoping I can be here for the next season.
All right, perfect. So yeah, I don't want to say go celebrate P2 in the championship because it sounds so weird, you know, but still you can be very proud of that achievement in itself. So best of luck for season 3.
Yeah, thanks. And I also want to congratulate Will Lyon for the win and the championship. And also I want to thank those who put this league together.
Right, perfect. So, Daniel Dinsdale, are you here, my friend?
I am, yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too bad. Sweaty
imagine.
At this point.
Yeah, so your team already clinched the team's championship in the last race, but of course tonight it was all about your teammate trying to bring home the Drivers' Championship. Just quickly tell us about your race and your role in trying to potentially hold back Hugo there from Will.
Yeah, so I was in serious trouble before the race because I mean, it was atrocious on my end. But I mean, I was looking on a quick lap on right at the end of quali, and it just kind of I was in the zone, and I just didn't let off at the end of the lap, and I pipped Will to pole, which was just the worst thing I could have done for the bonus point, and I felt like I owed Will a massive one there because that was just completely selfish on my end, and it could have. I don't know what the permutation. We didn't quite know the permutations, but I was worried that even if Hugo was third, like maybe there'd be some way for him to win. I'm not sure how it was working, but all I could do was just try and hold on to second for Will and try and pay him back for that because I really did owe him one, and it was. Yeah, that was probably the most intense race I've had on iRacing ever, to be honest. Like Hugo's just so quick, and once he got his damage fixed, what it seemed to be a bit of damage in the penultimate stint, in that final stint, he had so much pace, and I was just hoping I could hold on every lap, and that we could keep trying to work together, me and Will, and just not give him a run at me because he definitely had the pace on me.
Yeah, I could actually see into a few corners as well. He was making up so much ground on you in the braking zones, especially. It even scared me, so I can't imagine how you felt in the cockpit. But yeah, just a great run from you tonight. Then in P2, of course, we know now what I guess the thought process behind that was. Just trying to give Will that win there, but. Still a very great drive from you tonight once again. Before I let you go and move on to Will, your teammate, any shout-outs to any people? Because I know that you want to say something. So go ahead.
Well, I guess, thanks to everyone. Like Hugo said, all of you run the league and have helped out throughout from the start of this league. Like, it's the first league I've ever run, and it's, just been, I've really, really enjoyed it. Been great fun. Really enjoyed kind of these Wednesday evenings racing. So I really appreciate that. And big shout out to Matt and Will today as well, who, it was just great fun racing with those guys all season, and just really, really, really enjoyed it. Which, if that's the goal of sim racing, right? Everyone to have fun. There's my cheesy finale. So thank you, really appreciate it.
Perfect. Well, then we're gonna move on to Will Lyon, the champion of the Prime Meridian Racing League Season 2. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much. Wow, what a race that was. I think my heart rate, looking at my watch, it's still 120 beats per minute. So I think that just shows how stressful that was. That was so tough. I think Hugo and Daniel, clearly both of them had the pace over me today. And first of all, I want to say a big congrats to Hugo. It's been fantastic going toe to toe with somebody from Power Slide this season and being able to have those fights with him on the road courses. And also, obviously, a massive thank you to Dan because he played the team game there at the end and really helped me. Just keeping Hugo as far away from me as possible. And I think Dan's also managed to claim third in the championship. I think he's managed to get third off Andreas Ike. So that's another fantastic result. And also, sorry, this has turned into a shout out section, but Matt as well coming through to take P5. It was just a great day for the team, and loved every second of it.
Well, you guys sure earned the money this year. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, but I believe at the start of the season you said that ovals weren't really your thing, and in the second race at Gateway you did very well there, and of course you've all got that experience now. So going into season 3, just talk us through the learning curve on the ovals and what you can maybe bring for next year and next season.
Yeah, I've been trying to get better on the ovals. I did a few fixed races last season, and I've been trying to learn. We've got such a strong oval field in this series. I've just been trying to learn from everyone, and it kind of was gifted on a plate for me. Gateway, things just kind of went my way, and it's, I guess, the short ovals are a little bit more like road courses than the flat out speedways and what have you. So I really enjoy the ovals. I wish I had a bit more pace to fight at the front, but certainly the road courses are my bread and butter. And you just learn so much running with people like Dan and Hugo up the top. And there's been various battles with many people in this league, and it's looking forward to next season. I just gotta get better at ovals, basically. I think my road course performances are okay. I still need to find a little bit more pace, but the ovals is where the the real hard work has to carry on.
I personally think your road courses have been very impressive. They haven't been okay. They have been very good, in fact. But all right then. So yeah, going back to Gateway, by the way, you got to be in it to win it, right? So
Exactly. Can we get that on next season's calendar?
yeah, if you ask Jessica nicely, maybe she can consider it. It's a good track for racing, though. So maybe
it is. It is. They've all been good. They've all been good races. Honestly, I mean, I don't think there's been one boring race. We had a few yellow flags at Indy, but they have genuinely been. I've watched the races back, and they have been pretty entertaining, I think. So it's a good league. If anyone's watching, this is a good time slot for racing for them. Sign up. It's good fun.
Perfect. Well, that's gonna wrap it up from my end as well. Then, of course, I asked Daniel already, but from your side, you already did the shout-outs, by the way. But I'm gonna ask you one more time in case you forgot anybody. Feel free to say anything else to other people out there.
Yeah, I mean, again, I want to say a big thanks to all the admins who put this together, to yourself for broadcasting tonight, and Trevor, who put in a great stint as well. So many great memories of the broadcast that he's done this season. And obviously, I got to say thanks to Dan. Got to say thanks to Matt, my teammates, and also to the big fella, Ian Bell. We raced for Ian, and yeah, buy Project Cars 2.
I was waiting for that one. Perfect. So guys, to celebrate, don't drink too much though, because it's still a weekday, but on the weekend I'm sure that you're gonna be having quite a bit of fun there. So guys, to celebrate, and see you next year for season 3.
Thanks, Julian. Take care.
You too, man. Alright, I'll just quickly leave the Discord there. So that's gonna wrap it up for tonight's broadcast, tonight's race, and also this season in the Prime Meridian Racing League here on iRacing. Like Will said, it's a great league to run in, so if you want to get involved, if the time slot suits you, the Discord link is in the YouTube chat, so if you want to get involved, sign up on Discord there. Season 3 news will be announced very soon. Of course, follow official PMRL on Twitter as well for updates. But yeah, like Will also said, I want to thank Jessica Saban for also allowing me to broadcast this, for running the league on its own already, so that's very, very nice thing to be a part of course, and also Trevor for broadcasting the entire season and last season as well, of course, and of course myself taking it over for this race and perhaps next season as well, but we will have to wait and see. So that's gonna wrap it up once again. Thanks everybody. Thanks to all the sponsors, Majors Garage and Fopsy iRacing Paints. Check it out in the description, and we will see you all next year for season 3 of the Prime Meridian Racing League. Take care everybody, and stay safe.
Bye.